Hello, I'm Father Matt Heinrich, and I'm happy to introduce to you this video presentation for our capital campaign for the parish in partnership with the Archdiocese of Chicago called Generation to Generation. In this video, I'll specifically be going through the things that we'll be doing at our parish here, what we're raising money for. Those four primary projects are, firstly, for redoing our bathrooms in the church and the rectory assembly. Secondly, updating our elevator into the rectory assembly. Thirdly, fixing and updating our circulation system in the church. And fourthly, focusing specifically on our boiler, a rather old machine. Beyond that, we hope that the excess money that we might raise in this project will then go towards the electrical needs of the parish, lighting, for example, and even extend to the school, whose lighting and other components, infrastructure that we'd like to upgrade also. So please do join me for this video, and please listen, if you would, to my explanation of each of these projects in brief. Most of our campaign will benefit right here. The sanctuary, the church that you see in front of me, the church that you sit in, that you pray in. So much of our campaign will be focused on this place here, our sacred space, our sanctuary, our church, our parish, our home, Immaculate Conception. Looking at the needs of this place, we especially want to focus on that experience in here, upgrading, making more comfortable, making more accessible, making more efficient. That is to say, in redoing the bathrooms here in the church and in the rectory assembly, making them more accessible and more efficient, in working with the heating in the church. Many of you know that our church building with these huge stained glass windows, these tall ceilings, are very hard to keep warm and keep cool in those extreme temperatures, extreme winter and extreme summer months. So in upgrading our circulation system, which I'll show you momentarily, and then also upgrading the components that especially help to heat the church. With that being said then, please allow me to take you here from the church, down the stairs to our rectory assembly, and then to our basement to talk about our other projects. Even if many of you have never needed to use our elevator, you certainly know of it. And if you have had to use it, you know that although certainly a piece of equipment like this does get the job done, it's not particularly fast and it's not particularly quiet either. In fact, if I were to stand here for the duration of the time here, I could probably tell you a lot more information about this campaign and about our plans for Immaculate Conception while it goes down. Here, I'll show you. I'll just be at the bottom corner of the screen while this is going on, and I'll tell you about some more things right now. Another part of our campaign is this big machine right here. Now, I must admit, this thing has gone through a lot of iterations over the years. It was originally a coal-burning furnace. Then it was converted to an oil-burning boiler. And now it's a natural gas boiler. Just checking in, we're still going down. But when you have a piece of equipment like this that's well over maybe 70 years old, I know that it's been in the building here for about 65 at least, but I think it's a little older than that. After being retrofit many times, however, it needs a lot of work, and it's getting harder to get the job done with this particular machine. For right now, we're okay, but we're looking at those ways that we can improve the efficiency. It's a lot harder to repair when things break on this. That's one of the major issues. It gets a lot harder to keep it up to speed and to make it do the work that we need it to, especially during these cold months. Not only did it take a while, but it is pretty loud too. And it's not so much about the fact that it does its job, but it's not particularly comfortable to ride in. It's not particularly quiet, especially if you're going down while dinner, prayer, Bible study, something else is going on. And especially with those who really need that for mobility, to feel comfortable in more ways than one in using it. I think that's why it's a good use of our money to upgrade this elevator here to our rectory assembly. Well, this is a pleasant sound, right? I'll tell you what, it's not so much the sound that's the issue here, but rather that this machine is in charge of moving the air throughout the whole church. But I'll tell you what, rather than me explaining it with this going on in the background, let me talk to you about it in a different way. From the floor to the ceiling, our circulation system has to do quite a bit of work. Our system, as it stands, is much like the rest of the church, almost 70 years old. The belts, the bearings, the machinery, all of these components need to be upgraded to keep up with newer machinery. And now our circulation is having a hard time moving hot air, moving cold air around the church. In upgrading this component that you see here, it's also going to help us move the air from the basement up through the entire church, the office, and the rectory assembly. I want to thank you all for your time today, listening to me and listening to my explanations. I hope you will, if you're able to support and contribute to our capital campaign in especially the ways that you are able. And even barring those things, may you please pray for the success of our campaign, not only in partnership with the Archdiocese, but the ways in which we want to improve our church and our community here at Immaculate Conception. Again, from me, Father Matt Heinrich, and from all of our staff and all of those who are working behind the scenes to make all these things possible. Thank you, and God bless.